We've been working on getting a member of the Astros to come on the show so we can talk about that run for them during October and what the season has been like. Finally had a chance to catch up with pitcher Brad Peacock on Thursday. I started out by asking him, as all of this sinks in, what have the last few weeks been like for you as a World Series champ?
Yeah, it's been great. The wife went on vacation and just chilled, and all my friends are excited for me to be home and talk about the games and stuff, and it's been pretty fun.
For about a month, you guys are wrapped up in some of the most intense situations that you can fathom on the stage in sports. You go 7 games against the Yankees, then you go 7 games in the World Series, and games against the Dodgers that are just back and forth. And now here you are 2 weeks later, you go to Las Vegas, you see the Backstreet Boys. It's got to be like night and day.
Oh, man, it's been night and day. I've been able to relax a little bit. Those games were really intense. I think I might have had a heart attack or two, but it was crazy. But it's nice to be home and be able to do some fishing and stuff and relax.
Well, you guys certainly earned this downtime. Brad, what are some of the moments that you will always remember? They're burned on your brain from the World Series.
Just Game 5 was Game 5. It was just crazy. Just going back and forth, and I'll never forget when Bregman hit that walk-off, to tell you the truth. I was in the dugout pacing back and forth and see him put a good swing on it and get it done, and it was awesome.
A 5-hour and 17-minute World Series game. It was worth every second, Brad. Let's put you in a different position. Let's say it's you as a pitcher who's facing Alex Bregman and Carlos Correa and Jose Altuve and George Springer. How in the world do you begin to prepare and face a lineup that's as relentless as the Astros?
Just throw it down the middle and pray. That's what I would have done. Just try to hit your spots. Nothing crazy. But we have a special lineup, and they just get the job done in, day out, and they were really fun to watch this year, and really fun for them to carry it over into the playoffs, and especially in the World Series. They just got it done. That's what it takes.
We now know that Jose Altuve has won his first AL MVP award. Brad, what makes him so valuable?
He's good at everything he does, like defense, hitting. He's just a special player, and I've been able to watch him over the past couple of years, and somehow he just gets better and better every year, and that's hard to do from what he's done, and he deserves every bit of that MVP, and it's just been so much fun to watch him.
We're spending a few minutes with pitcher Brad Peacock of the world champion Houston Astros, just a couple of weeks removed from beating the Dodgers in 7 games and then celebrating in downtown Houston with a parade. It's After Hours with Amy Lawrence on CBS Sports Radio. Jose wins the MVP. He was one of the guys that you played with back in 2013 when the Astros lost 111 games. What was it like in your clubhouse then as you're struggling through a season in which it was really difficult to win?
Yeah, it is. But to tell you the truth, we were still having fun. I knew we weren't, really good team, but we were still having fun, and everybody kept it loose in the clubhouse. And then, when I got sent down to the minor leagues, and I think it was 13 or it might have been 14, I was able to see Springer play. And I knew he was going to be something special, and he just was tearing it up down there, and he ended up making his debut the next year, I think, and just never looked back. But, those years they made it worth, every bit of what we did this year. So it was crazy.
So for you personally, this was your first time to pitch in the postseason, Brad. What were those emotions like when you stepped on the mound for the first time?
Oh, it was all worth it. I've been through a couple surgeries, and finally got healthy, and it was just all worth it. It was a dream come true for me, and I'm sure for everybody on the team. And, I'm never going to forget that feeling for the rest of my life. It was just something I can't describe. It was a lot of fun.
How nervous were you?
My first outing, I think it was against Boston, my first start. I was nervous warming up. But right after I threw that first pitch, I felt fine. So, and then throughout the playoffs, I felt fine. Felt great.
Such a strange phenomenon for pitchers once we get to the postseason. In Major League Baseball, it really is nothing like the regular season. We've got aces and starters turned relievers. You've got guys like Brandon Morrow of the Dodgers pitching in all 7 games. It's very situational. So how do you stay ready?
Well, to tell you the truth, I started off in the bullpen this year, and then I got moved to the starting rotation, and then I got moved back to the bullpen. So I think that was pretty much normal for me. But a lot of those guys, like Lance, had that game. I mean, it's all about just making pitches. I mean, it's all the same stuff. We were able to warm up normally down in the bullpen as a starter. They gave us plenty of time to warm up. So, it was pretty normal for me, and I think for the other guys too.
Well, at least you were prepared for it this postseason, kind of nutso when it came to the pitching and the way that pitchers were used. Justin Verlander joined you guys just before the trade deadline. The whole story about how they just made it in under the wire with the paperwork. What did he bring to the table for your pitching staff in Houston?
Oh, just a big jump start. Justin Verlander, he's going to be a Hall of Famer one day, and it's just everybody was so happy when we signed him. We needed another pitcher, and you saw what he did in the playoffs. I mean, he definitely helped us win a World Series, and he was definitely fun to watch against the Yankees that one game. And couldn't be happier that we got him. So it was pretty exciting.
An incredible 9-1 after he joined you guys. Brad Peacock is a pitcher with the Houston Astros, fresh off celebrating a World Series championship for the first time in their franchise history. It's After Hours with Amy Lawrence on CBS Sports Radio. We just found out that Carlos Beltran will retire on top as a member of your team. And I heard so much this season about the impact that he made on the young guys in the dugout. What was so special about having him on the roster?
It's just Carlos Beltran. He's been around for a long time, and he's seen everything. So, any little question you have for him, he'll definitely have an answer, and he'll tell you how to go about it, or, he'll teach you a few things, about anything. But anything you want, you just talk to him, and I think that was the big key. Some of the veteran guys, I don't know, I've heard some, not on our team, but that just, I don't know, they don't give you the time of day, but you can ask him anything, him and McCann, and they'll talk to you and teach you or do whatever. And I think that was key for sure.
Such a great mix with the Astros. We saw the energy, the explosiveness, the excitement of the young guys front and center, but also grounded by some of the veterans who provide that experience and that wisdom. And I'm glad you brought up Brian McCann. What influence did he have on your pitching staff?
Oh man, he literally gets to the field. He's the first one at the field, doing his homework, watching video of the team we're playing. So he has a game plan going into the game, and on my end, I just listened to him. So whatever he called, I threw in the playoffs, and I don't think I shook him off not once, because my slider has been my pitch all year, and I barely threw it in the playoffs. So it was just him. He found out what was working for me, and we just went with it. So it's pretty cool.
As much as this means to you personally to finally have a World Series ring after everything that you've been through, we've got guys like Justin Verlander, who was in his 3rd World Series, Carlos Beltran, who's at 40 and finally wins, Brian McCann, who hadn't won one before this. What was it like for you to watch these veterans who spent so much of their lives in baseball finally get to the pinnacle of the sport?
Oh, it was something special. I mean, to play that long and, not win one, for those guys, I'm sure it was special, but it was special just, seeing their faces when we won. I think Carlos was crying, and McCann was so happy. It was just so happy we got it done for them, especially.
Oh, yes, Carlos was definitely crying, because when I saw the tears streaming down his face, I got all teared up as well. Let's talk about those games in Houston at Minute Maid Park downtown. I would have given anything to be able to be at one of those games. You were there. Not only that Game 5 that you talk about where you guys were able to walk off after 5 hours and 17 minutes, but how about the 2 games against the Yankees, 6 and 7, when you had to come back and win the ALCS? How would you describe the atmosphere for your playoff home games?
Electric, absolutely electric. It was crazy whenever I was out there and I got to 2 strikes, that's when I started hearing them, and I think that pumped me up so much. For sure. It was even every home run where I was sitting in the bullpen, just, I couldn't even talk to the guy next to me. That's how crazy it was.
Wow.
But it was something special, and it was definitely something I'm never going to forget for the rest of my life, just hearing that. And hopefully we get to do it again, so hopefully that's not the last time.
Right in the middle of your stretch run, the city of Houston goes through Hurricane Harvey. My mom lives just northwest of the city, and I remember for days stressing out. The waters are rising. The rain keeps coming 50 inches. We're watching as thousands of people are displaced. Some of them are sheltering in conference centers and the stadium downtown Houston. You guys are away on a road trip, and there's people that are still attempting to recover. So how much did it mean to you personally, but also to the team, to be able to deliver this World Series championship and then celebrate with those people?
Oh, it was something special. When I was in Vegas this past weekend, I met some guy from Houston I was playing cards with. And he came up to me, he's like, man, my house got flooded. My mom's house got flooded. My sister's house got, and he said, I just want to say it made it all better when you guys won. So I'm glad we could do that for people. And, they had to go through some tough times. I'm just glad we were able to put some smiles on some people's faces. And, my wife was in Houston at the time too, so she went through it all, and I was praying for them and just praying for everybody. And that was something crazy. And I've been through a couple hurricanes being from Florida, and I've never seen anything like that. But, hopefully that won't ever happen again.
There certainly is something special about sports, the power that they have to heal and to unify and to bring people together, even in the face of incredible tragedies. But let's hope that was a once-in-a-lifetime event for the city of Houston. Brad, it's so good to spend a couple of minutes with you. Thank you so much for the time, and congratulations on winning your first World Series.
I appreciate it. No problem. Anytime.